It was just funny. Maryland, Australia. There we go. Another Canada. Evans, Vegas. I love it, Zach. That's good. George Hoff. Come on. Georgia. Jamie Tupper. Chaz Silence. Got him quadrupled up and gets the win. 16 and 2 above. There is the winner. Brandon Dillman of that wonderful, wonderful Dillman family. Patriarch Steve Dillman, my buddy. He's probably watching at some point, I bet. Thinking about him, praying for him always. But Brandon Dillman, there's the answer of the night. A van down by the river. That's perfect. That is perfect. And to be honest, Brandon, I'd expect nothing less coming from you. Illinois, there we go. Warsaw, Indiana. There you go, George. Bluffton, there he is. Steve Blowers, good to see you. Nebraska, now we got further west. Cody Strickland, race for North Carolina, 438 left side. Steve Law, Boonville, Indiana. 468. 002 to a 006. Here we go. Finish line. Laying down the law. Steve Law. 002 dead 0. 2 thou end to end for Steve Law. Cody Strickland. 006, 1 above 2, 18 total, and had no shot. Yes, John Taylor. Put that on your list. You got to get here. This is a great place. Great race. Texas, VMP, Virginia. There you go. Get him, Jenna. Get him. Chris Stein, Silver Lake, Indiana. Stein Tire, Diamond Race Cars, OEM Combustion Services. Diamond entry, not a 435. Thomas Stalba Jr., Hamilton, New Jersey. The undercover, 465 on the right side. Oh, Chris Stein, 22, take 10, goes 2 thou under, had to take 8 or less. Stalba Jr., 29, dead 1, picking up the win. Missouri, more Georgia, or more Virginia, sorry. We may have a new leader in the clubhouse. No, nobody said that. Nobody thinks like you, Mike Eames. But he, I mean, here, I'm going to share it. I have to because, you know, you shared mine earlier. Mike Eames said, I'm from my mom. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Brandon Lane, Tim Sansone, 10 to a 42. Advantage right side. Win light right side. 10, take 20, goes 1 above 6. 26 for Sansone, had Lane locked out, who's 42, dead 4. Jerry McGraw, Plattsmouth, Nebraska, 433 left side. Bob Willing, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 479 right side. Give the win left side to Jerry McGraw. 16 and 2 above. 435 on the 433. Willing is 44. 2 above, no good. Steve Blowers, the good news is I control the computer up here, so I control the narrative. Jamie Sirocco, Watertown, Connecticut, the undercover machine down to 444 left side. Isaac Bridges, Shelby, North Carolina. The American dragster down to 471 right side. .002 to a .007. Here comes Sirocco and gets it done. .002, take 8. Goes 1 above 8 to be 20 total. Isaac Bridges, 007 and 2 above, no good. Hi, Brock Hill, Nebraska. That's the one postal code I've struggled with all week. Donovan Williams, the Overkill FTI on site. Mickey Thompson, Phantom, down to 464 left side. Josh Duggins, Inman, South Carolina, 439 on the right side. Jeg Clark, I can't answer that. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Too many still left to keep track of individuals for the most part. But I want to say no. $16 to a $35. Donovan Williams with the advantage left side. Finish line says right side. Donovan. Oh, no. There's swear jar. Oh, 16 take 74. Under by 2 thou. Oh. Josh Duggins, your reluctant winner, right side. Colby Fuller. Trolley transportation supervisor. Excavation engineer, left side, down to 461. Jeff Taylor turns it red by 1 thou. I'm telling you, who knew Colby could also operate a dragster? 006 and 7 thou under, and he's going to Mazier round number 4. See, he's multifaceted. He can operate anything. Trolleys, excavators, and dragsters. Killing it. Tim Markaglew, Staten Island, New York, 445 left side. Darren Lotz. Lexington, North Carolina, 464 right side. Mr. Blowers, you're not lying. That probably is about true. It seemed like it sometimes. I held a few, 10, 20. Wasn't very consistent. So Markaglew and Darren Lotz. $14 red for Markaglew. I think that may have been his last entry for the day. Darren Lotz, Lexington, North Carolina, 004, dead 4-8 total. Markaglew, 446.8 on the 445. Noah Lewis, Clarksville, Tennessee, 440 left side. Scott Larish, Center Valley, Pennsylvania, 478 on the right side. Round 4, door cars to lanes 5 and 6, please. Round number 4, Mazier, round 4, door cars to lanes 5 and 6, please. Mazier, round 4, door cars to lanes 5 and 6. So Noah Lewis, Scott Larish. Four thou separated, and we still need taillights. Right side, Lorish, 27 and 2 above, taking 8 thou. Noah Lewis, 23 and 3 above. So if you're back there in the lanes, taillights, taillights, taillights. We got to be able to see you. We got to be able to keep track of you down track. We need taillights. Everybody, not optional. Tom Dauber, Medford, New Jersey. 460 in the left side. Cam Wisnett, Pelos, North Carolina. Performance Tire Race Tech. 479 the dial right side. $15 for Dauber, and Cam is not 15. Left side, your winner. 15 and 2 above, taking 29. Wisnett 1 above. You can do the rest of the math. Tom Dauber to Mazier round 4. As we are rolling on here in FTI round number 3. RAD Torque Systems Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries. Here on Silver State Refrigeration and HVAC, $100,000 Friday. If you're still looking for Fling apparel, it is for sale down at the little party. So if you didn't get it earlier, you can get it down there. Fling apparel is for sale over at the racer party. Robert Hefty, right side. Ken Batchelor, left side. Advantage Hefty by 10 thou. Hefty gets it done. 22, take 2 for Hefty. Goes 2 above, 453. Ken Batchelor, 32, 1 above 5. No good. Christian Walston, Wallops Island, Virginia, 477 left side. PG Pascal, 449 right side. Jenna, you got one in there on me. Good job. That was, yeah, in hindsight, it might be one of my favorites too. But I knew somehow that would come up. That's right, Jenny. It truly is. My brain is frying from all the math. 4 thou separate him. Walston left side with the advantage and the win light. Left Pascal, nothing basically. TG is 20, take 3, goes 3 thou under. Had to take nothing but air. Walston 16, dead 4, lighten up the winner. Message on the scoreboard. Durant Cottingham, Thomasville, North Carolina, 450 left side. Andre Nunez, San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Fuel Tech, Mickey Thompson, Dragster, down to 475. And that was a big almost anyway, Jenna. It was almost certain that was happening. 008 to a 44. Nunez with the advantage. Nunez, your winner. 8 take 31. Goes 1 above 7. 25 total for Nunez. Cottingham misses the tree. Goes 1 above 2. No good. Casey Cole, Lexington Park, Maryland, 480 in the left side. Sydney Wiggins, I saw you getting a shout out here in the chat bleachers a minute ago. 443 the dial right side out of Mount Washington, Kentucky. You're right, Steve Blowers. That was back when those meant something. Got a 500 now. It's like people think, what's wrong with you? The game has changed a little bit. .009 to a 20. Advantage Sydney Wiggins. Finish line. Wiggins. 9 dead 3. 12 total for Sydney Wiggins. That Mount Washington, Kentucky dragster rolling on. Casey Cole 20 and 9 thou under. No good. Absolutely, Jenna. Absolutely. Sean Sarah, 479 left side. Richard Alford, 473 right side. Sarah has him doubled up. Should be a win left side. It is. 22, take 8. Goes 3 above. Alford 2 above, 475. But 44 on the starting line. No good. All right, my last pair for a little bit is you're going to get Mike Eames back in the booth. So all these stories you're telling that pertain to me, stop it. None of them are true, and I don't want those repeated because they can't be true. They're too funny to be true. Jackson Warders, 475. Glenn Ferguson, 455 right side. And then I'll get out of the way and let you listen to Mike. And Jackson Warders turns at 12, foul red. Glenn Ferguson, 26, dead 7, 33 total. He'll move on to Mazir. Round number 4. Jackson Warders continues the trend. 12 red and dead on. So I'll turn it over to Mike Eames. He'll take you through the rest of FTI round number 3.
Thank you, Mr. Riggins. Appreciate it. As Elizabeth Salmons out of Harrison OHIO and Scotty Gibson Jr. Scotty out of Sanford, Florida, wins the official award for the best taillight on property, as he has the back of the wing thoroughly illuminated. Salmons red by 4th out, and 21 green for Scotty Gibson, and dead on 0 will get the win. Elizabeth, after being red by 4, is 3 over. Scotty Gibson will move out of round number 3 into Missouri round number 4. This is Brent Martin and Dallas Glenn. Brent out of La Plata, Maryland. For Martin's service station, 470 is the dial. Dallas Glenn, 450 for the RAD Torque Tools Galitti Mobile. Yeah, Jenna, there's no stories about me because I never do anything crazy or fun or mischievous. That's not my thing. Dallas Glenn is 009 green. Brent Martin is a lot more than that. And Dallas Glenn goes 4-5-1-9 on the 450 and 9 green will get the win. Brent Martin's 37 up front and had no shot of turning on a win light. Severn Johnson, Crownsville, Maryland. Severn's Performance Dragster 461 is the dial. And Bill Fordyce, 3 freaking 90, the dial-in for Bill Fordyce. Now, Pro Charge Dragster for MyRacingTeam.com out of Harmony, North Carolina. Fordyce, a Pro Charged monster. Severn Johnson will be out in front. Bill Fordyce on Wednesday went 190 miles an hour in the 8th mile with his hot rod. It's picking him up and putting him down. .007 for Fordyce is in front, and Bill Fordyce, fastest car on property, 007, dead on 8 for Bill Fordyce. And that just makes me giggle. That car is so cool. 187 miles an hour. Severn Johnson's 463 at 147 miles an hour. And Bill Fordyce was 40 miles an hour 40 miles an hour faster at the 8th mile finish line. It's just insane. I love it. Wilbert Wooten and Craig Belcher. Wilbert out of Douglas, Georgia for Big Wilbert Trucking. 481 is the number for Wilbert. Craig Belcher, Wake Forest, North Carolina, will get the win as Wilbur is 2 thou red, and then dead on. Of course. Telling you, if you're red, just get off the gas. Belcher, 14 green, 522.8 on the 522. To move on. Vinny Domino. And Brian Thompson. Mr. Domino out of Staten Island, New York for Team Numidia Dragway. For Vinny, 443 is the dial. Brian Thompson, 446. The dial for the winged dragster from Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. TNT Enterprises, Gary's Auto Sales. On board Brian's machine, 446 will have an opportunity to leave first. As we're staged, and we're off and away. Domino, 8 on the tree, dead on 9 to be 17 total. Will light up the win light, got to the finish line first by 0.005 of a second. Brian Thompson was right there, 11 green and 11 above, but 5 thou shy as Vinny Domino. Cha-ching out of FTI, or round number 3. Holden Dial and Bob Engelman. Holden out of Maxton, North Carolina. Dragster left side, 479 is the number. Bob Engelman out of PA. The Miller prepared dragster for Bob. Made it to the final round on our advanced product and design, $15,000. Wednesday after being defeated by Tim Markoglu. Bob is like, man, I've been to one final, would love to keep it rolling. Here on Silver State Refrigeration and HVAC, $100,000 Friday here at the RAD Torque Systems Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries. But first things first, we got to get out of FTI Performance round 3. Holden left side. Bob right side. Both drivers are 24 at the start. Engelman, 445.2 on the 445 will advance. Holden dialed 479. Got to the finish line first by 13 thou to break out 11 thou. Needed to snug it up to be in front by 2 or less. Did not do it. Bob Engelman on the breakout by Holden Dial. We'll move on to round number 4 as Will Holloman and Matthew Edwards. Will out of Pine Level, North Carolina. The first federal side for Bear Motorsports, APD, and Abruzzi. 448 is the dial. There for Will and Matthew Edwards. Ashland, Virginia. 492 the dial for Matthew. At the conclusion of FTI Performance round number 3, we're at that time of the day where we will have a full prep session. Should be 8 to 10 minutes of downtime in between FTI Performance round number 3 and Mazir Enterprises round number 4. Just to keep everybody up to date that's watching the Jags and Hoosier Motor Mania TV live feed. So Will left side, Matthew Edwards right side. I believe we have 4 pair left here in FTI round number 3. Matthew Edwards appeared to be timed out. Will Holloman will move on out of round number 3. Call the fire has been made for Joel Hubbard and Wesley Washington Jr. So we're going to have to take a little bit of time, pay some attention to the First Federal Bank side of the racetrack. But this is not our full prep session that we will have after the conclusion of FTI Performance Round number 3. So Harold and the great track crew here at Galot Motorsports Park, I'm telling you what, man, they just A++ effort keeping this racing surface in optimum condition. I mean, Harold treats this racing surface like it's a member of his family. The dedication and pride that he takes in his craft to keep the racing surface good. I mean, it's something that in the multiple times that I've been to this incredible facility, something that I always admired was how serious he takes that track surface. He used to do a great job here at Galot Motorsports Park, and I know we've been talking about it a lot, and all of our friends in the chat bleachers. I've been pretty fortunate to be to several racetracks, and this place is one of my favorites. I can't recommend it enough. If you have the opportunity to come down here to any of their any of their events, any of their PDRA stuff down here, this facility is just world class. And all the people who work here, just top notch. It's definitely well worth traveling, both near and far to be. Down here in Benson, North Carolina at Galot Motorsports Park. We're still doing a little bit of work over here on the First Federal Bank side of the racetrack. Right here, just behind the starting line area.
RAD torque guns are the world's most powerful and reliable torquing systems with the highest power-to-weight ratio. RAD torque guns are available pneumatic, battery, and electronic drive systems with torque ranges from 500 to 15,000 foot-pounds of torque. RAD torque guns are being used around the world by companies such as Boeing Aerospace, Caterpillar Equipment, GE Wind Towers, U.S. Military, and many more. RAD torque systems are also very involved in the drag race community, sponsoring many events as well as a large fleet of RAD-sponsored race cars. Visit radtorque.com. With a 40-year history of technological innovation and engineering, Optima batteries offer unstoppable power for extreme enthusiasts and others who require the ultimate power source. Optima batteries were the first high-performance AGM automotive batteries in existence and revolutionized the industry with their unique spiral cell technology. Look for the distinctive Optima six-pack shape and get the ultimate power source. Galot Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Galot Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Galot insures race cars on and off the track, trailers, and equipment. Galot even pays racers contingencies at the Fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Galot Motorsports Insurance today. Advanced Product Design, also known as APD, has quickly become the go-to place for carburetors in the world of big buck bracket racing and NHRA alike. Join 2021 NHRA World Champions Luke Bagacki, Blake Peevler, and Jimmy Lewis, and let APD help power you to your next win. Carburetors, fuel systems, and complete race engines. APD. Rob's Automotive and Collision is a proud sponsor of the Fling events. Automotive repair, heavy-duty truck repair, trailer repair, and roadside assistance. Rob's Automotive and Collision. More than just towing. True Start, a product of CompuLink, has been used at all Fling events since 2016 and now used at over 50 tracks nationwide. In a double red light situation, True Start awards the win to the racer who red lights by the least, regardless of handicapped start. True Start was created to level the playing field by equalizing the pressure for both drivers regardless of which driver's tree drops first.
All right, just a couple pair left in FTI Performance round number 3. We apologize for the delay there. The call to fire has been made. I believe 3 pair are all that we have left here in FTI round number 3, and then we will have a full track prep session. So after these 3 pair, we'll have a little bit of downtime on the racing surface, just so all of our friends in the chat bleachers know kind of what we're doing here with the RAD Torque Systems Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries. That is Joel Hubbard. That is Wesley Washington. Joel out of Camden, South Carolina for Hubbard Heating and Cooling. As American assembled dragster, 450 is the dial, 473 is the number. For Wesley Washington Jr., King George, PA. 473 will be leaving first by about a half of one of those amber bulbs on the Christmas tree. You win this round, you get paid. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bills, y'all. Washington, a little better at the start and a little better at the finish on a double breakout. Wesley Washington will get the win. Under by 4th thou was Wesley Washington. Joel Hubbard. 449.0 on the 450 was 25 green and breaks out by 6 thou more as Wesley Washington Jr. will move forward. Matt Schill and Jay Ralston. Matt, the winged dragster, over in the left lane out of Long Valley, New Jersey. 475 the dial from Matt. Jay Ralston, Pennsylvania. For J&S Ralston Trucking, 492 the number. For JR. Ralston, last to go in. Tree, and away. Jay, 200 better at the start. And a pretty easy win there for Jay Ralston. 508 on the 492 was 20 green. Matt Schell dialed 475 and goes 492. Well off the pace, Jay Ralston. Cha-ching. Into Missouri Enterprises round number 4. Last two in FTI Performance round number 3 will be Jeff Taylor and Anthony DeAugustino. Anthony from Tuckahoe, New York. Jeff Taylor, literally across on the other side of the country, Apache Junction, Arizona. For Nesbitt, Ginco Plumbing. There for Jeff. 449 is the dial. Jeff, half the reaction time is Anthony. 009 to 18 rips to be 17 total, and Anthony D'Agostino was just wasting $21 in race fuel as Anthony was 18 green, dead on one, and no shot as Jeff Taylor opened up the box, put Anthony inside, taped him up, packaged him out. As Jeff Taylor, 009 taking 002 will close out. FTI Performance round number 3. As soon as we get our best losing package, we will relay that. 5.
Jags.
Well, you know, it's the old story. You do well, you win a couple of races, and then right away, everybody's against you, everybody's your enemy. It's not fair, but that's the way it is.
Watch carefully. These stock eliminator finals are always so close.
And how about this? Sal Biondo takes the win. It's the 100th final for the Biondo family, and it's a winning one for Sal.
Sal Biondo, Peter Biondo, many national event wins. Of course, brother Peter has won any number of sportsman championships.
For the third time in the last 12 years here at Maple Grove, Peter Biondo, Sal Biondo both win their respective eliminators at the same national event.
Biondo Racing Products, a family-owned and operated business, now in the 35th year of racers, providing racers with over 50 years of racing experience and expertise. Please check us out at beyondoracing.com.
Hey there, welcome back or welcome to Tech Talk. This is our twice monthly message focusing on a technical aspect of sportsman racing based on our experience and the knowledge, I guess, that we've gathered over years within the sport and years working with racers just like you. We share this in 5 minutes or less with two goals in mind. The first, to help you to take the next step, however big or small that may be, in the direction of becoming the best version of yourself on the racetrack. Let's make your combination just a little bit better today. And then the second is to just provide a brief glimpse into what life within our premier membership community, This Is Bracket Racing Elite, is like. It's these types of discussion, this type of thought-provoking, interesting banter that goes on every single day within This Is Bracket Racing Elite. So today's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about trailer organization, and particularly during the off season, this is a topic that comes up a lot. One of the main questions I get is like, hey, what all do I need in my trailer? And to me, the answer to that lies in the answer to two pretty obvious and simple questions. The first is, what can you afford, to realistically keep in your trailer as backup? And I'm talking tools to support equipment to spare parts. And then probably equally important, like, what are you willing to actually work on at the racetrack? Like, it's one thing to be able to afford a spare engine. Like, I don't carry one. I'll carry, if I have it a spare for a dragster, I would carry it because I'd be willing to do that at the racetrack. I'm not going to carry a spare small block for my Vega except maybe select events. Like, I'm sorry, there was a time in my life, but that time has passed that I would be motivated enough to swap that. So those two issues play in, like, what can you comfortably afford to do, and what are you willing to do at the racetrack? With that in mind, whatever it is that you decide to stock with your trailer, like, I'm a bit of an organizational freak, right? And specifically in racing, like, when I need something at the racetrack, it's not often that I've got like overnight to fix it, right? Usually I needed it 10 minutes ago. So if I can afford to carry what I need in the trailer and I'm willing to change it, it not only needs to be accessible, but it needs to be prepared. And I need to know where all of it is. I'm kind of a freak about this. I actually spend a lot of time in organization. A couple of tricks that have helped me that I'll share. Specific toolboxes. Like, I've got every tool that I feel like I need, right, in the trailer toolbox. But then I've also got a handful of specific, like, tackle boxes for common jobs. I've got one I call it the valve train box. That's everything that I need to run valves or change a valve spring or jerk out a lifter or change a rocker arm, like every tool associated with that chore that I could possibly need. So I've got the stuff to air up a cylinder, the stuff to get the valve covers off, I got the stuff to get the rocker arms off, like all of those tools. So I've got a second set basically of all those tools, so all of that can just stay in that tackle box. Point being, if I come back from a run and hear a squeak or something like that, I can just grab that toolbox and know I have everything that I need right there. I have a similar box for transmission and torque converter changes. I have a similar box for suspension adjustments, right? It just speeds up the process, and it's got everything in one place so that I can get to it quickly and easily. And then the second part is, as you get to a point that you are comfortable and can afford to carry spare parts, it does me absolutely no good to have a spare transmission per se that is just sitting there without any of the necessary components to go in the car. So if I can afford the spare transmission, like, I can afford to not only spend the money, but take the time to put the correct cooler fittings in it, to put the ends on the
Round number 4, the Missouri round. 74 entries are left. Here on Silver State Refrigeration and HVAC, $100,000 Friday, RAD Torque Systems. Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries. Robert Holton, Logan Westmoreland. Robert out of Monarchs Corner, South Carolina, the Superman Motorsports Mustang. Logan out of Troy, South Carolina, the 68 Camaro for Joey Gary and Cleaner Visions, and Logan is going to bow out in round number 4. Robert Holton's 22 green, dead on zero is 22 combined. Logan is 40 at the start. And when we were in, like, elementary school early on, we had the alligator jaws, greater land or less land. Well, 22 is less than 40, and that's going to be a winner. Steve Sisko and Clayton Roberts. Steve Sisko for Team FTI on site. Overkill Motorsports out of New Jersey. 607 is the dial. Clayton Roberts in the Thunderbird. 506 the number for the Robco Residential Southern Tide Homes machine. 5 little bitty ones, the difference on the starting line. And Steve Sisko, 33 green. And a thou in front at the finish line. Clayton Roberts was 28 up front and 16 thou over, but a thou behind there at the finish line. Scotty Richardson and Jeff Verdi. These guys have been alongside this weekend like literally a handful of times. Scotty out of Barberville, Kentucky. 595 is the dial for the Nova. $2 million 1 year. Jeff Verdi, Glen Allen, Virginia. The Outlaw Motorsports Hoosier Tire GTO as we are wheels up and away. Verdi right lane, Scotty Richardson left lane, Verdi. 005, 603 on the 602. And I believe Verdi is 3-1 against Scotty in the 4 times they've been alongside of each other here in the last couple of days. Scotty 16 green and 2 above. Verdi 005 and better. Takes out Scotty Richardson, John Corbin, and Marty Dabney. Corbin out of Waynesboro, Virginia. Raider Campbell's Camaro for House of Pain, Premier Moving, Kowalski Race Engines. 546 is the dial. Marty Dabney. 497 the dial in for the Tommy Tree Service 72 Vega. Corbin will get the head start by a full yellow amber. Marty Dabney will be giving chase in that Vega. Corbin in a real good position off of the starting line. See brake lights down there for Dabney. But John Corbin, 004 and 1 above is good. Marty Dabney's reaction time was, we've talked about this before. If your reaction time is greater than Peter Biondo's age, that does not create a good formula for success right off the bat. Dabney was 52 green. As John Corbin will advance. Sean Lingerfelt and Nicholas Horn. Sean out of Greenville, South Carolina. 516 is the dial. Nicholas Horn, the Glen Development, 85 Calais. is 22 red. Sean 006 on a free look at 516. He goes 515.8, 132. As Lingerfeld will move out of Mazir round number 4 and add a little bit more cha-ching here on Silver State Refrigeration $100,000 Friday is Pete Dagnollo and Eric Ayman. Pete out of Rochester, New York. That orange Malibu for SNR Automotive. 577 is the dial. Eric Ayman, Clinton, North Carolina. Robco Residential Cavalier, 520. The dial for Eric, a full yellow amber plus a hint of another. Will be the head start for Pete. Green and green, Pete and Eric. Pete, 14 at the start, 578.3 on the 577 at the end to be 14 thou in front to get the done. Eric Ayman's 40 green, dead on one, and completely locked out. As Pete had Eric packaged up as Donald Brown and Richie Brown. Donald out of Curry, North Carolina, the Dean's Performance Beretta. Richie Brown, 553, and a red light start for Donald Brown. The Beretta is 5 thou in front of green. Richie Brown, 11 at the start, 554.2 on the racetrack at 123 miles an hour to move forward into round number 5 as Jerry Freese Jr. Bluebell, PA. For Jerry, 629 is the dial. Will Cavett, Evergreen, Washington. Evergreen, Virginia. Man, I see that VA and I just think it's WA. Will, excuse me, out of Virginia, the Commonwealth. For Cavett Racing Engines, 553 the number. Red light start for Will by 5 thousandths of a second. Jerry Freese is 30 green and a look at 629 goes 6.326 at 106 miles an hour for Jerry. And after Will was red by 5 thou, got off the gas to just go 6.14. Tom Orr out of Renfro, Canada A. The red 20 Corvette Roadster. 528 the dial for Tom. Gary Williams, Bradenton, Florida, in the Boss Lady Camaro for FTI on site. Mickey Thompson Tires, VP Fuels, 529 is the dial for Gary. Three teeny tiny ones separate drivers that leave the starting line. Tom Orr, 14, taking 9 thou to go 528.5 on the 528 to get the win. Gary Williams was 11 at the start. 530 with a 7 on the 529 and 9 thou behind at the finish line. Tom Orr takes out Gary Williams. Here in Mazira Enterprises round number 4 is John Edwards III and Amanda Manuel. John Edwards, 3 sticks out of Chesapeake, Virginia. The extended cab S10 for 4-seat construction. Shattuck Race Cars. 576 the dial. Amanda Manuel, Louisville, North Carolina for Hoosier FTI. Pro Dimension powder coating. Amanda in her S10. 612 is the dial for Amanda. We'll have the opportunity to leave first. Off and away. Edwards, 8 thou in front at the finish line. 577 on the 576 will get the win. Amanda was 13 on the reaction time and 6:14 on the racetrack. John Edwards, 005, 577 on the 76, and that mathematical formula works out for John Edwards III as Ricky Needham and Michael Jackson. Ricky out of Cleves, OHIO in the Cobalt. 577 the dial in for Ricky. Michael Jackson, Newton Grove, North Carolina for Nesbitt Race Engines. Salt Life Towing, 542 is the dial. Ricky Needham in the Cobalt will be off and away first. First Federal Bank side of the racetrack. Michael Jackson will be in pursuit. Michael is in quite... Dink. 004 at the start. Dead on 3 is 7 total, and that is just a little bit dirty. Shane Maddox, 35 green, dead on 9, and just a big colossal waste of space right there in Missouri Enterprises round number 4. Dink, 7 total. Dispatch is Shane Maddox. Being 7 total. Larry Murray, the Mustang Roadster out of Michigan, and our runner-up from last night, Mr. Kevin Glenn out of Virginia. The gorgeous 66 Chevy 2 for Glenn Development. Larry, 7th out in front at the start in the Mustang Roadster and going to get the win by 5 thousandths of a second. Larry is 005, 573 on the 571 to be good. Kevin Glenn, pretty good run the last couple of days, but it'll end right here in Missouri Enterprises' 4th round. 12 green, 2 above 1. But 5 thou behind at the finish line is Larry Murray. We'll move on. Adam Buglia and Richard Dukes. Adam wounded the Camaro, jumped in the Mustang to press forward. 663 the dial for Adam. Richard Dukes, 598 on the board for the Richard Wrecker Services 64 Nova. 598 as we look down at the Napa Auto Parts scoreboard. Green and green. Adam and Richard. Richard and Adam. Rips all over the place. Adam Buglia, 664 to be 9th thou in front, was 32 Carl Malone on the starting line. Richard Dukes was blackjack down there at the start of the run. 21 green and 3 above, but 9 thou behind at the finish line. As Adam Buglia in the Mustang takes out Richard Dukes. Here in Missouri Enterprises, round number 4. All right, so we have a couple of door cars that are doubled as they're getting ready. We're going to run just a couple pairs of dragsters before we finish off the door cars that had a couple doubles involved. Try to keep the show moving. We like that. Again, 74 cars were left when we started Missouri Enterprises round number 4. 74 goes to 37. 37 goes to 19. 19 goes to 10, and we're on a ladder. And then 10 goes to 5. 5 goes to 3. 3 goes to 2. And we get to give away trophies and big checks. We like that. Tim Phipps and Dallas Glenn. Dallas is still doubled. Yes, that is Pro Stock Dallas Glenn, as they are not running Pro Stock over at the national event. 2.5 hours to the west. They're in Charlotte. Dallas out of Mooresville, North Carolina. 450 on each side of the racetrack. Tim Phipps, Kenansville, North Carolina. So we've turned Mazir Enterprises round number 4 to a 450 index race. Dallas Glenn tattoo Tim Phillips to the starting line. And will get the win. 009 and 452 for Dallas. Tim Phipps, 46 at the start, under by 1 thou, but was still 9 thou behind at the finish, as Dallas Glenn had Tim Phipps completely locked out. Greg Hicks, Scotty Gibson Jr. Hollywood out of North Las Vegas, Nevada, for Genco Plumbing. The white Mullis dragster left side, 461 is the dial. Scotty Gibson Jr. Sanford, Florida. We appreciate the lights on the back of Scotty's dragster. The LEDs across the top of the wing underneath makes it easy to see down track. 454. The dial in for Scotty. Hicks will leave first. Well, supposed to anyway. Scotty Gibson, half the reaction time of Greg Hicks, but Greg Hicks will end up on the winner side of things. 005 green for Scotty Gibson, under by 11 thou. Greg Hicks, 10 green, under by 8 thou. When you do the math, the true margin of victory, 3 thousandths of a second for Greg Hicks. They're on the MOV. Michael Spencer and Chris Ferguson. Michael out of Rayford, North Carolina, for Spencer's Concrete. 427 the dial for the orange dragster. The first federal side. Chris Ferguson for Ferguson Racing. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 455 is the dial. And we started this round with 74. Cut them in half to 37 as it's starting to ramp up the intensity as we work our way towards a $100,000 payday. Spencer, Ferguson, 15 green, dead on 7, will be good. Michael Spencer was 009. Got to the finish line first by 16 thou to break out 3 thousandth of a second. Needed to snug it up to be in front by 13 or less. Did not do it. Chris Ferguson takes out Michael Spencer. Christian Walston. The Walston Motorsports dragster out of Wallops Island, Virginia. 477 is the dial. Eric Paterka, West Bloomfield, Michigan. The undercover chassis machine for Eric. 472 is what's down there on that Napa scoreboard. Christian, the young man, is 001 at the start. And 4777 jackpot for Christian. 8 total. Eric is 14 green. And fully locked out. Christian, 8 total, will move on. It's Brian Anderson, Robbie Hamilton. BA out of Carson, VA. The Race Tech winged dragster in the left lane, 458 is the dial. Robbie Hamilton, 470. The dial here in Mazir Enterprises round number 4 for AutoFab race cars. Robbie will have the opportunity to leave first. 0.12 the difference in the dial. Red light start for Hamilton by 14 thou. Brian Anderson, 12 green and a free sniff of 458, and he's going to take a big whiff of 456.3 at 150 miles an hour. That 456 is going to smell pretty good for Brian Anderson as he cha-ching into round number 5. It's Kobe Fuller and Craig Belcher. Belcher out of Wake Forest, North Carolina, the yellow dragster on the Napa Auto Parts side. Kobe Fuller, Savannah, Georgia. The new Maddox assembled machine. Kobe, the part-time excavator operator. You need some excavating done? Kobe Fuller might be your guy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Kobe left side. Belcher, 005 at the start, dead on 6 at the end to be 11 total. Kobe Fuller in what amounted to a pretty good drag race. Colby was 11 green, Belcher was 11 total. Colby needed to be dead 0 and was 459.9 on the 460, under by 1 thou. He needed to take nothing and missed it by 1 thou. This is the real close drag race right there, Craig Belcher and Kobe Fuller. One of those deals where, fortunately, somebody has to be on the wrong end of it, and that was Kobe Fuller in that round. John Corbin and Clayton Roberts. Corbin out of Waynesboro, Virginia, for Premier Moving, House of Pain, Raider Campbell's Hot Rod. Corbin, 547 is the dial. Clayton Roberts in the Thunderbird, 506 the dial for the Robco Residential, Southern Tide Homes, Blue Oval. Corbin behind at the start. Clayton's 004, one above, taking 1/1000th of a second. Did Clayton Roberts. Pretty sporty. 004 taking 001. It's pretty good. John Corbin, 12 green, dead on 7, but 1 thou behind at the finish line. As Clayton Roberts will advance. Jerry McGraw and Tim Sansoni. Jerry out of Plattsmouth, Nebraska. Hobshite Motors, 432 the dial for Jerry. Tim out of Pasadena, Maryland for Auto Fab Race Cars. 446 the dial for Tim. Side by side, red light starts. Tim left first and was more worsher on the red light side of things, so not a true start situation. As Tim was 004 red, Jerry McGraw was 001 red. Jerry McGraw will move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, step right up if you're a door car and you are still in round number 5. Let's get you up in the lanes, please. Once again, door cars, round 5. Let's get you up in the lanes, pretty please. Door cars, round 5. I beg you, I implore you, I politely ask you to come to the staging lanes. Tom Dauber and Thomas Stalba Jr. Hamilton, New Jersey for Hoosier, VP, Lucas Oil, NGK Plugs. Tom Dauber, 460 is the dial for Beyond Race Products. Peter Morris, 1 thou separate them right down there at the starting line, and that was pretty dirty by Tom Dauber. 008 taking 006 to be dead on 3. Takes out Thomas Stalba Jr. Stalba was 007. John Elway on the reaction time. That was from my guy Christopher Lee back there in the staging lanes, big Denver Bronco fan. 465-0 on the 464 for Stalba, but behind 6 thou at the finish line. As Tom Dauber takes out Thomas Stalba Jr. This is Vinny Domino and Scott Lorish. Mr. Domino, Staten Island, New York. Vinny for Team Namibia Dragway, 442 the dial. For Vinny, Scott Lorish, Center Valley, Pennsylvania. the Miller constructed dragster. Vinny is green. Scott Lorish is Richard Petty up front. And when you're racing Vinny Domino, and you decide now's the time to be 43 at the starting line, very rarely you're going to turn on a win light. Vinny is 12 and 2 above and good. Scott Lorish, 43 dead on 9 and no shot. Jamie Sirocco, Steve Law. Jamie out of Watertown, Connecticut. 4-4-4. The dialing for Jamie. Steve Law. Boonville, Indiana. Law Chevrolet Buick. Attention to the pit area. Hopefully you're back in the pit area by now. Tim Sansone. Tim, come see the Diva Desk. We did find your cellular device. Tim Sansone, come see the Diva Desk. We found that item. As we are approaching the end of Missouri Enterprises, round number 4. Law, 7th out behind at the start. Jamie Sirocco left side. No. Steve Law, 19 green, to be 1 thou in front at the finish. 467.4 on the 467. Jamie Sirocco was 12 green, 445.2 on the 444, but behind 1 thou at the finish line. Steve Law will press forward into round number 5 as I do need my door cars for round number 5 up in the lanes, please. Door cars, round number 5. Let's get you up in the lanes, please, as Sean Serra and Chaz Silence. Sean out of the Commonwealth of Virginia. 479 is the dial. Chaz, Jacksonville, North Carolina, right down the road. 453 the dial for Chaz. Serra in a dominating position off the starting line and completely freezes Chaz Silence out of the building. 007 dead on 7 to be 14 total. Chaz is 51 at the start and had no chance whatsoever to turn on a win light. It's Bill Fordyce and Kevin Brannan. And this is an interesting matchup. Bill Fordyce out of Harmony, North Carolina, the pro-charged 390 dial-in that just screams. Kevin Brannan, the Rabbit, for Ivy Hutto's Golf Cart Sales and Service, your $1 million winner 2 weeks ago today out there at the Strip Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 433, the dial-in for Brannan. Away and away. Fordyce is 006 alongside Rabbit, but Kevin Brannan gets in front by 6 thou and makes it work. 12 green, 434. As Bill Fordyce got behind by 6 thou, going 392 at 185 miles an hour. But Kevin Brannan turns on the win light and will move into round number 5. Bill Fordyce, man, 006, 392 at 185. I know it wasn't the result that Bill wanted, but man, that was just fun to watch. Kristen Bird and Richard Alford Jr. Kristen, Benson, North Carolina for Ronnie Roberts Racing. 476 is the dial. Red light start for Kristen. Richard Alford, and right over there in Raleigh. 9 green, dead on 0 to be 9 total. But Kristen, red by 13, and will bow out in Missouri Enterprises round number 4. Again, door cars, my remaining door cars for round number 5. Let's get you up, please. It's Robert Hefty and Darren Lotz. Robert out of China Grove. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. China Grove. Hefty Automotive Dragster, 453 is the dial. Darren Lotz out of Lexington, North Carolina for Lotz Home Furnishings. 464 is the dial for Darren. .008 leaves second in this pair. Darren Lotz, Robert Hefty, Lotz. Man, Robert Hefty is 008, dead on 9 to be 9 total, and have a good remainder of the night. Darren Lotz, 006, dead 0. It's just filthy. Like filthy, like Pigpen filthy. Darren Lotz, 6 total. Robert Hefty, 9 total. And go crack open the cooler there, Robert Hefty. Cindy Wiggins and Josh Duggins. Cindy out of Mount Washington, Kentucky. 441 is the dial. A blown machine over in the First Federal Bank side of the racetrack. Josh Duggins, Inman, South Carolina. Par Racing Engines. Brodix, Bam Lifters, Duggins is 001 and 440. To get the win. Sydney was Michael Jordan at the start and dead on 6 and 100% locked out of the show. Josh, 18 total. Sydney was 23 green, and there was nothing Sydney could have done to move the win light over onto her side. Jay Ralston and Bob Engelman. Jay and Bob. Bob and Jay. Could be like a morning FM radio duo. Hey, it's Jay and Bob in the morning on 103.5 FM. Jay out of Pennsylvania, the J&S Ralston Trucking Machine, 495 the dial for Jay. Bob Engelman. Kutztown, PA. Kutztown. I've never been. 445 the dial for Bob. Was our runner-up on our $15,000 advanced product design Wednesday. Bob's like, yep, want to go a little further. Wow. Jay Ralston is 129 at the start. Engelman was 41 green. That was weird. That's all you can say. I mean, generally, 41 green is not getting off first. But it was right there. Bob Engelman will move out of Missouri Enterprises round number 4 into the Goodyear 5th round. This is Andre Nunez and Jeff Taylor. Andre for Team Fuel Tech. Mickey Thompson, BLP for Andre out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. 476, the dial for Andre. Jeff Taylor, Apache Junction, Arizona. The Nesba Racing Engines. Ginco Plumbing. Red light start for Jeff Taylor. 003 red. And off the gas for Mr. Taylor. Andres 13 green and 15 thou fast. But it was all over right off the bat as Jeff Taylor turns up Babe Ruth red. To get the win. There for Andre Nunez. It's Glenn Ferguson and Wesley Washington Jr. WWJ. Ferguson out of Greensboro, North Carolina, 455. The dial in for Ferguson. Wesley Washington Jr. out of Pennsylvania, 008 and 474 to get the win. Ferguson, 26 up front, 2 above. And no bueno. No bueno. Will Holloman, Scotty Gibson Jr. As we had 74 cars at the start of this round, which means when Steve Riggins takes over for Goodyear round number 5, 3-7 is what we'll have remaining. Will Holloman, Pine Level, North Carolina, for Bear Motorsports, APD, and Abruzzi, 447. The dial for young Will. Scotty Gibson Jr., Sanford, Florida, 452 the dial. With the LED lights on that wing, we appreciate that very much. Car's very easy to see down track. After all, kids, safety first. Gibson, 13 green. We hear rips already. 452.7 on the 452 is Scotty Gibson Jr. Fully eliminates Will Holloman. He had no chance. Scotty, 20 total. Will Holloman was 26 at the rip. And it didn't matter what happened the remaining 660 feet because Will Holloman was not going to light up a win light. Sammy Hollingsworth and Dallas Glenn. Dallas has already won in one entry. And last night we had several doubles late. Here on Silver State Refrigeration $100,000 Friday, Dallas is the only one who has the opportunity to take 2 entries forward. Sammy Hollingsworth, Greenwood, South Carolina, the Duke's Auto Salvage Super Sport, 548 the number. Dallas Glenn, Mooresville, North Carolina for RAD Torque Systems and the Galot Mobile. 36 leaves first. Dallas Glenn, 36 green, gets there first by 2 thousandths of a second to go 452.5 on the 451. Sammy was 42 at the start. Dials 548, goes 549.1 as Dallas Glenn, as we have 37 remaining, makes up 2 of those 37. So we'll have just a little bit of quiet time before we move our door cars in Goodyear round number 5 forward.
Jags. For those who don't settle when others do, who will give everything but won't give up. For those who believe in unlimited while others limit themselves. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere. Trusted by all since 1960. What you want, when you want it, at a price you want to pay. Jags.
Ultronics, the leader in performance electronics. Racers know and depend on their state-of-the-art systems every day. Perform Air Pro and Perform Air Eclipse are the racing industry's standard high-tech, easy-to-use weather systems. Power Light lithium batteries, the super powerful lightweight energy source for your machine. And the Data Quest Power Quest, the most innovative data recorders and touchscreen switch panels you can find. Check out ultronicsinc.com for these products and more. Ultronics, the choice of champions.
Ultronics, Perform Air Weather Station Giveaway. Go to ultronicsinc.com/fling and enter to win.
All right, we are back. MotorMania TV live from commercials. We are getting ready for Goodyear, round number 5. The RAD Torque System Spring Fling, presented by Optima Batteries, Silver State Refrigeration and HVAC. Friday, 100K, and we are down to 37 cars for $100,000. Our first 2 door cars on the line here in Goodyear, round 5. Robert Holton, Moncks Corners, South Carolina, Superman Motorsports Mustang. Trying to be Superman today for $100,000 out of 535. He'll be up against the $1 million man, the $2 million man, Jeff Verdi. Glen Allen, Virginia, Outlaw Motorsports 66 Goat out of 602. Verdi going to leave first, right-hand side. Winner goes to the round of 19. Hello, all the MotorMania chat bleachers. So your conversation's flowing well. Glad to be back with y'all. Here we go. A 1 to a 24, and Verdi's in trouble. Finish line. Win light says Robert Holton. 1 take 23. Goes 1 above 7. 18 total. Verdi locked out. 24 and 1 above 7. No good for Jeff Verdi. Sean Lingerfeld, Greenville, South Carolina, 516 left side. Adam Boulia. I would call us the rent-a-ride. I don't know what the understanding was when he jumped out of his car and into this Mustang, but he's making it work. Here he is at 37 cars. 662 the dial, right side for Boulia out of Havelock, North Carolina. He'll get almost a second and a half, almost all 3 lights on the Christmas tree for Boulia, and Lingerfeld's going to attempt to run him down in that Beretta. Seventh thou separate him. Here comes Lingerfeld. Finish line, win light goes to Lingerfeld. 33 dead 5, 38 total. Boulia had the starting line, had 26, so had 7 thou in his pocket, but comes up 3 thou short. Steve Sisko, Williamstown, New Jersey. Down to 608, Dink Holmes. Richmond, Virginia, 578 right side. So best losing package, Mazir Enterprises, round 4, Robert Hefty, 9 total. You win $500 and a small fling check from Mazir Enterprises. So Robert Hefty, round 4, best losing package. Mike, you make me laugh. So Steve Sisko, the overkill machine left side. Getting 3/10 head start from Dink Holmes. The round of 37 to get to 19. $100,000 on the line. Sisko misses. Here comes Dink Holmes. Should be, could be, it is. Dink Holmes, 005, one above 217 total, and Cisco was locked out. 25 and 4 thou under, no good. John Edwards III, Chesapeake, Virginia. The S10 down to 577. Richie Brown, Jacksonville, North Carolina, 554 right side. $2,300's head start to the left, makes up 100th at the starting line. Can Richie Brown get there, close that door? Yes, sir. 21, dead 6, 27 total. Locks out Edwards, 33 dead 5. So Richie Brown, 21, take 11 for the win here in Goodyear, round number 5. Pete Dagnollo, Rochester, New York, SNR Automotive, 79 Malibu, 578 the dial left side. Lucky Larry Murray, Riley, Michigan, the 2016 Ford Mustang Roadster, down to 572. They call him Lucky Larry, but he's also awful good. See what Larry's got here for Pete Dagnollo. This could be a matchup right here. You're right, it's a matchup either way. It could be a good matchup. 3, 2, and 11. Chevrolet with the advantage. Finish line goes to Lucky Larry. 11, take 1. 2 above, 574. Dagnollo. Oh, out of the throttle, did not. He gave that one back. He's 580, 2 above, and only 112. So Dagnollo, 3, 2, and 11, and gives it back here in Goodyear, round 5. Lucky Larry to round 6. Ricky Needham, Cleves, Ohio, 578 left side the Cobalt. Bo Diddley, Benson, North Carolina, 507 right side. And red light start right side. Ricky Needham, your winner. 004 in the left side. Goes 3 above, 581 on that 578. And Needham goes to 19. All right, Tom Orr, Renfro, Canada. The Corvette Roadster left side down to 528. Jerry Freese Jr., Bluebell, Pennsylvania. 632 right side, getting the head start. Pat, it is 9:41. 9:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Oh, boy. Trip zip to a 006. Finish line. Give it to Tom Orr. 6 dead 9. Taking 6 thou. Jerry Freese was absolutely perfect on the starting line. Goes 2 above. 634 to put himself 6 thou behind. No good. Tom Orr, 6 takes 6. Going to the round of 19. Whew. Starting to build up here. Man. Act like we're racing for $100,000 or something. John Corbin, Waynesboro, Virginia. House of Pain, Premier Moving. 547 left side. Ray Lone, Glen Allen, Virginia. The 66 GTO, 617 the dial right side, getting 7/10. $15 to a 10. 5,000 separate them. Can Ray Lone hold off John Corbin? Survey says yes, sir. 10 take 5 for Ray Lone. Goes 1 above. 618-1 on the 617. 21 total for Ray Lone. John Corbin was 15 on the start. Had to go dead 6 to have a shot. He goes 1 above 1. No good. Ray Lone gets the win by 5 thou. So round 5 dragsters to the lanes. Round 5 dragsters, we need you to the lanes, please. Goodyear, round 5. dragsters. So we'll get them set, and we'll come back, take a breath, play some music, and get ready for the rest of the dragsters here in Goodyear round 5. Boy, the door cars are showing off and showing out. Hello, Hank Mulligan. Thanks for checking.
Jags. "60 years of innovation, 60 years of attention to detail, 60 years of rigorous testing under race conditions is what makes ATI Performance Products great. ATI has been helping racers like you reach the finish line first. Today, we manufacture a wide range of high-performance parts that are track-tested and race-proven. We're passionate about performance, and that passion is what drives you to the finish line first. See everything ATI has to offer at ATIRacing.com.
All right, we are back. Ray Keown, Levittown, Pennsylvania, 580 left side. Dallas Glen, Mooresville, North Carolina. Rad Torque Tools, Dragster, out of 451. Hank, I will not. I do not have my car back together yet. Still recovering from the August incident. So I will not. I will be there, but I won't be in my car. So Dallas Glen, still our lone double-entered machine. Trying to carry that on, so he'll be back around yet this Goodyear round 5. So Dallas Glen, 451. Ray Keown said, I'd like to bring him back with one entry and keep rolling here. The Levittown, PA runner, left side. Looking over at that dragster saying, come get you some. I don't know if he's saying that or not, but probably. That's what I'd be saying. You got this far? Why stop now? One, 2, and 11. Door car with the advantage. Finish line. Ray Keown did about all you can do, giving up that kind of mile an hour. One take 14, goes 4 thou under. Needed to take 10 or less. Dallas Glen doing what Dallas Glen's doing today. 11 dead 0 for the win. So Dallas gets the first one through, and he'll be coming back around for his second entry here in Goodyear round 5. So we are getting the dragsters loaded up, suited up, and we're going to bring them around here in just a second. Goodyear round number 5. So we are just, here we go. I see some dragsters starting to roll this way. So after this round, we'll be down to 19 for $100,000 here on Silver State Refrigeration and HVAC 100K Friday. So Dallas Glenn going to come back around, try to take 2 to the round of 19. You know what? That'd feel pretty good having 10% of the field left for $100,000. You couldn't be too sad about that. Although Ray Keown gave him a scare right there. That's one of those there you think, oh man, that could have went either way. And Keown did all he could do. You always think, well, could have, should have, whatever. But, man, 118 versus 152 to take 14 thou. Nah, good job. So here we go. The rest of Goodyear round number 5. Brian Anderson, Carson, Virginia, 456 left side. Andre Nunez, the Fuel Tech Master, 475 right side. Oh boy, Andre gets one gift wrapped. 008, one above, 476, as Brian Anderson's one above, and there ain't no sense. We ain't going to talk about it. He missed. So Andre Nunez, the round of 19. Mr. Blowers, I would predict you are incorrect. It'd be amazing, but I don't, that's awful tough to do. Jerry McGraw, Plattsmouth, Nebraska, 432 left side. Craig Belcher, Wake Forest, North Carolina, 523 right side. Belcher turns at 3 thou red. Jerry McGraw, 21 and 5 thou under, and he moves on. Belcher, 3 red and 1.5 under. Goes 521.5. Vinny Domino, Staten Island, New York, 443 left side. Chris Ferguson, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 455 on the right side. Absolutely, Mr. Blowers. I'll take that. $1,200 head start goes to Chris Ferguson, right side. The Ferguson Racing Napa Auto Parts machine going down the Napa Auto Parts lane. Vinny Domino. Not much more to be said about Vinny Domino. He is just one bad dude in a race car. And in spite of the fact he's a Yankee fan. Oh, I mean, that's not what Mike said. 2 thou separate them. Can Domino get there? Absolutely. 21, take 10 for Vinny Domino. Goes dead 9, 30 total. Ferguson, 19, 2 above 1, 40 total. Vinny Domino getting the win by 10 thou. Greg Hicks, North Las Vegas, Nevada, the Jinko Plumbing. Mullis Dragster down to 460 left side. Kevin Brannan, Gaffney, South Carolina. The Rabbit down to 434. This has all the makings to be really, really good, which means like really, really nasty. Four to a 10. Here comes Rabbit. Finish line. No. Wow, look at this. I told you it could be nasty. It's like nasty, nasty. KB, 004, dead 9. That's good enough to win any day of the week except right here. No good. Greg Hicks, 10, dead 0. Taking 31-10 thou. Greg Hicks to 19. Knocking out the Rabbit. 13 total with the opportunity to load up. Ouch. Tom Dauber, Medford, New Jersey. 459 left side. Steve Law, Boonville, Indiana. Dauber, the Peter Morris, Biondo Race Products, Phantom. Steve Law, Law Chevrolet Buick, the Nelson Racecraft car. And Steve Law turns it 5 thou red. Goes one above 467. Tom Dauber 009, one above 524 total. Dauber to the round of 19. Sean Serra, Doswell, Virginia. Sean Serra, Doswell, Virginia, 479 left side. Scotty Gibson Jr., Sanford, Florida, 457 right side. Oh, Scotty Gibson, 453 right side. He did the right thing, checked the board, and goes, oops, wait a minute, that don't look right. We get it fixed, and all's well with the world. Well, okay, maybe not all, but we're closer. 2600th head start goes to Sean Serra. Going down that first Federal lane. Scotty Gibson's going to come giving chase. And he's going to have to make up 9th thou. Finish line, win light, Sean Serra. 007. Get behind 11th thou. Goes dead 9, 16 total. Gibson was 16 up front, so he had to go dead 0. He takes 11 to be under 11. Win light to Sean Serra. Wesley Washington Jr., King George, Pennsylvania, 473 left side. Darren Lotz, Lexington, North Carolina. Lotz Home Furnishings, 464 on the right side. $900th head start goes to Wesley Washington Jr. Forward to a 23, Lots in full control. Finish line, Darren Lots, 4 dead 1, 5 total end to end, taking 49 because he can. Darren Lots to the round of 19. Wesley Washington 23 and 3 above as he checked out. You're right, he is. So Darren Lots, 4 dead 1. It is pretty nasty. Bob Engelman, Kutztown, Pennsylvania, 444 left side. Josh Duggins, 439 on the right side. Steve Blowers, there definitely are. I have them on my car. Red line start for Engelman. His chase ends at 37. Josh Duggins, 19. 7th thou under for the win. I need Hoosier, round 6 door cars to the lanes, please. Hoosier, round 6 door cars to the lanes, please. Hoosier Racing Tire, round 6 door cars. Bring them up. And the barbecue is still open. If the Larice Motorsports Insurance Racers Barbecue is still open. If you're still hungry or you're hungry again, it's still open. There's still plenty of food, all kinds of excitement down there, so feel free. Run back over. Here's Dallas Glenn once again, Mooresville, North Carolina, trying to take 2 to 19. 450 the dial for Dallas. Richard Alford Jr., 474 right side out of Raleigh, North Carolina. See if Richard Alford can send Dallas packing with one. He's got to work real hard. Advantage Dallas Glenn. Win line. Dallas 17 total. 9 dead, 8 for Dallas Glenn. He'll take 2 to the round of 19. Richard Alford 22 up front. Goes dead 7 to be 12 thou behind. Dallas Glenn moving on. And Christian Walston, Wallops Island, Virginia, the undercover dragster, taking the solo. 476 on the side of that dragster. Beautiful dragster. He leaves with a 20 on the reaction time and goes dead 9. 29 total lap there for Christian Walston. He'll return for the round of 19. So that does complete Goodyear round 5. We've made the call for Hoosier Racing Tire. Round number 6 door cars to the lanes. I'm going to step away for just a second, and I'm going to pass the mic, I think.
Jags.